There's a lady named Rita. She was a young woman, and unfortunately, she passed away at the age of about 25. Her dad wanted to honor her with a headstone to really reflect who she was as a person. And so here's what he did. A 5-foot iPhone. A 5-foot iPhone.
Wait, okay.
Is her. It looks like an iPhone.
It's a gravestone of an iPhone.
Yes.
Shaped like an iPhone, looks like an iPhone. What's on it?
It even has the Apple, emblem on the back of it, just like your iPhone would have. And then on the front of it is her picture, a beautiful picture, and it's her screensaver. I'm like, okay. I mean, it even has like the volume controls. It has like everything that if you looked at an iPhone, it would have.
It looks like a 5-foot iPhone.
Is her
amazing
headstone.
Wow.
Costly.
There are some interesting gravestones.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake saw one. What was it?
So I saw one that, because I was driving down the road one day and I was like, is that a PS4? And it sure was.
On a headstone?
It looked like the headstone itself was made to look like a PS4.
Just like the iPhone headstone.
My goodness.
That is different.
I mean, this guy must have been all into that game.
Really? Okay,
Wow.
and Ninja, you saw something unique in a headstone.
Yeah, there's this girl on the internet who will find headstones that have recipes on them, and she'll make the recipe. It's usually like a dessert, and then she'll go and eat whatever she made at the graveside to kind of honor their memory.
Really? I've never heard that. A recipe on somebody's gravestone.
I've never seen that. Why? That is costly. Every time they got to engrave a different letter, the price is going up. Oh my goodness, a recipe.
That's interesting.
That's mind-blowing, to tell
Right?
you the truth. First of all, that somebody's putting a recipe and that somebody's going to go make it.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I know it sounds kind of weird to start talking about gravestones or headstones. That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say grave.
No,
I'll say
headstones.
headstone.
Yeah.
Headstone. Although it's going to happen to each person, right?
Everybody, right?
Got to be ready. You have to have Jesus in your heart. Yeah. So here's the thing. People are doing very unique type headstones. Like there's this one guy who made a headstone for his daughter that was a 5-foot iPhone. And on the wallpaper, or the screensaver, I guess you would say, it's her image, very beautiful, and, has the words that he wanted to say to her.
Yeah, her name and, of course, when she was born and when she passed on. But I think we all have an idea of what we want on our headstones or what might happen. So Julie, she's actually in the middle of it right now. On her dad's gravestone, what she did, she said it doesn't cost anymore to put any more letters. I thought it would cost you per letter, just like if you engrave a ring or a bracelet or something. But she said, here's what they did. They put their parents' anniversary, and instead of a heart, like in between the two names, they put coffee mugs.
Oh, for real?
Because they love coffee. And so that was something creative and different.
Drank coffee all the time.
All together.
Ninja, one of our producers, said she saw something, I guess it was on social, that a woman would take the recipes from gravestones. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, I guess it was a special dish that they were known for, that they would just have it on their headstone, and she just makes them and eats them by the graveside to honor their memory.
That's sweet.
Odd to put a recipe on your headstone.
I don't know. Ann has a thought about that at 800-447-7234.
I just had a funny thought about the people who put recipes on a gravestone. I'm thinking these people probably were asked for the recipe, and they said, you will not get the recipe except over my dead body.
That's exactly what happened. Oh, my goodness. You are so smart.
So that was kind of a spite move by the people who were asking about it.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Luke is 10. He's got a pet frog. I love the frog's name. Are you ready? You probably already know it. Kermit.
It had to be Kermit.
Kermit the frog. So he keeps him in a tank, but he asked his mom one day, and Luke is just 10. He said, Mom, I want to play with Kermit. Can I take him out? She's thinking, the bathroom would be the safest place. We can close the door. He can be in the bathroom. He can play. He's not going to get anywhere. He won't get loose. Well, lo and behold, there's a hole in the wall. You know where Kermit went?
Yep.
Right into the wall. Luke was just heartbroken.
Yeah, he wanted his buddy back, his Kermit. First time he gets to take him out and play with him. So Mom's like, look, we're just going to get into action. We're going to make sure that we get Kermit back. So she tried and tried. She kept trying different things to try to get Kermit back out of this hole in the wall. And I think she could hear him. It wasn't like he jumped in the hall and then he went outside, somewhere. But she could hear him. So first thing she did, she takes her iPhone out and she starts playing cricket sounds. And she's thinking, okay, this will lure him because he might be hungry. He's looking for a snack.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work at first. She had to try a couple of different things. She ended up turning the lights out and then playing the cricket sounds. And finally, Kermit made his way out.
Sure, yeah. She turned the light back on, and there was Kermit the Frog out of the wall. But here's the thing that really impresses me. The hours she invested in this. I think it was like over 8, 9, maybe 10 hours that she sat in the bathroom just determined that Kermit was going to be back in Luke's little container.
Like terrarium. Is it a terrarium? I think is what it's called. But yeah, just so we could get back home and play with Kermit again.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Carolyn from Brian and Carolyn, afternoons here, his radio. We share kind of a same office space type, and she gives me junk about my desk.
Why?
Because I do have stacks of paper, and it's not the cleanest desk. I tend to thrive a little bit in chaos, and so my desk is a little bit messy.
I see your desk. I don't think it's messy.
But she's so the opposite, the polar opposite of me. She has to have everything. Like she has all of her little colored highlighters and her little colored Post-it notes, and they're all in their little place. I can't work. I just don't work like that. I probably could, but I don't want to.
But you have stacks of paper, and it's not a lot. It's like a stack of paper.
Right. Well, I have one stack to my left, one stack to my right, and then I have like a little Daisy Duck little toy that's on there. I have a couple of things. I have a little butterfly that my granddaughter, made for me. So I have homey kind of things.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have some ammunition against her.
What do you mean? She's got a messy desk now?
No. Research says I'm more creative.
Because of a messy desk?
People with messy desks are a little more creative. Like when you all go to a meeting and you're coming up with ideas, people with a messy desk seem to have more of a creative flair than those who have a really neat and tidy desk. Now, on her side, being very, very efficient and tidy and all this.
Her being Carolyn
yes,
for the
Carolyn.
afternoons.
They say that they are a little more positive in their behavior, and they donate more, and they're less likely to commit crimes.
Okay. So
I'm like, wait a minute, I'm messy, so I commit crimes? I don't think so.
Guess we need to look for Liz's mugshot soon.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Edison, after he saw all of the wildfires and people needing help in Hawaii, decided he's going to do something about it. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. So he decided food and stuff and lemonade for those in Hawaii. He's 5 years old, decided to do something about it. Here's the thing. Did the lemonade stand, and there was food and stuff. So it was like sparkling water and popsicles and ice cream and all these things. And not only did he raise money, but the community matched it.
Well, absolutely. And some people, even though he was selling the lemonade for like $1, people would walk up and say, here, just take $20 for a lemonade or $5 for a lemonade. And then his community matched it, which is super cool. And he found out about it because his family had taken a vacation to Hawaii. And he actually saw, firsthand some of the news reports that were there while they were visiting.
And so he did something about it. At 5, did I mention 5? 5 years old. Man. Edison. Amazing. All said and done, after the money that he raised, and a business matched it through business funds, $17,000.
That's crazy. One of my favorite parts of this entire story is this kid's name is Edison.
Yeah. Isn't
like
that great?
This little guy with the great ideas.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. They've turned it into a cereal.
It literally looks like Crunch Berries that are just different colors.
It's vanilla flavored, from what I understand.
Okay, that might be a little different. I don't know. I guess Crunch Berries is berry flavored, but
I think you're right.
okay.
I think you're right. Vanilla flavored. It's puffed cereal, orange pumpkin marshmallows on the inside.
Okay, so it goes off the cartoon. So the cartoon's been around for 50 years, 40 years.
Yeah,
something
here's
like-
what they're doing.
Okay.
Apple Plus now has all the cartoons, all the Charlie Browns.
That is right.
And so you'll see Apple Plus on the box, and I think, if I'm right, you get Apple Plus for a month for free if you get the cereal. If
Okay.
I get this right. I think so.
So I guess you don't have to buy the cereal?
What do you mean?
Do they have an advertisement or a QR code or something like that?
That's
Honest-
great questions.
Because I'm just wondering,
They're
if you do,
wonderful questions.
you could just go to the store and scan that bad boy, if so.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I had no idea in my life that birds sweat. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. And then when I took a closer examination of what I was reading, it's sweat birds. It's not birds that's sweating. So sweat birds are the opposite of snowbirds. And if you know what a snowbird is, it's somebody from the north that comes to the south during the wintertime to be a little warmer. Now there is the opposite effect. There are people that are going north for the summer because it's been extremely hot, and they're like, I got to get out of this for a while.
Yeah, I mean, think Houston or Miami or even right here. It gets really hot and super humid, and this week is going to be another one of those kind of dangerous weeks where we're going to see this extreme temperature, like 100,
Oh,
plus
really?
degree.
Oh,
Yes.
come on,
I
please,
thought,
no.
at the end of last week, it felt like fall. I was like, it's finally here.
With a
But
little
no,
bit of humidity.
I didn't even feel any humidity. Yesterday, a little bit, but Friday and Saturday, oh my goodness. it
Right
was
now,
so
I
nice.
mean, it's fall temperatures, but it's summer humid.
Yes, it is a little sticky this morning, but this is what is happening. People are now leaving the South and they're going to places like Michigan or Maine or Vermont or, Nebraska because they just want out of the heat.
Sweat birds.
Sweat birds, honey.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Liz on his radio.
I haven't been horseback riding in a minute. I think it's been like 15 years. Kind of miss it.
Really?
I love horses. I love it. I just don't take the time.
What's stopping you?
Nothing. No,
Okay.
absolutely nothing. We have a farm just around the corner from where we live, and I see the sign all the time: horseback riding lessons.
Well,
and
it
I'm
sounds
just
like Joey and Liz are going somewhere this weekend.
I would love to. I really would love to. But one thing I would like to test out when I do get to go horseback riding. So there was a team that started studying horses to see if they can tell emotion. Because I know that dogs can. Certain dogs are more in tune to it. So what they were doing was trying to see, okay, they know joy, they know anger, but can they pick up on nuances of things like sadness if you're not crying? Like if you're just sad, can they pick up on those emotions? And they did. In fact, if you were physically sad, like on your face, you looked like you were crying, but yet you spoke joyful, the horses got confused. How weird is that? That they could pick up on something like that.
There are a lot of therapy horses. There
There
are places where you can bring people for therapy horses for many different reasons.
Because they pick up on emotions.
Yeah.
But they wanted to see, if they could determine what your actual emotion was, even if your face or your voice said something different. And it just confused them. And I think that, look, sometimes I can be laughing, but I'm really sad on the inside, and my husband is so confused. So I get it with the horses, too.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love what Pennell, his wife Sharon, and two daughters do. They've been in the ocean on a boat with dark green bottles and letters, and they have thrown hundreds of these letters in a bottle into the ocean for the past several years. I think they've
cool.
counted 80 altogether that they've done.
Oh, my goodness. That is so cool.
And they've received a lot of letters back.
Well, hopefully. I mean, that probably was the purpose. What do the letters say? I wonder what the notes say.
It says neat things.
Are they all the same letter? Oh, wow. That's
No,
kinda
they're
cool.
all written on different paper.
Well, I mean, do they all say the same thing? Like,
Maybe.
dear person who found
I don't
this
know.
bottle.
But for 6 years they did this. So from 2000 to 2006, and they're starting to receive a lot of the letters back.
Oh, I would
Right
think,
now.
you're not going to get a letter back in the next week or so.
No,
Most likely.
not out in the ocean. So they found some of these washed up in Portugal, in Spain, in France, Ireland, Great Britain, Florida, I know that's different from the rest of them. It took a turn that way instead of this
Wow.
way. To the Caribbean and the Canary Islands.
Okay, so I mean, most of those, actually it makes sense because, where did you say? You said France, Portugal, Spain, so that's all kind of the same direction.
Right.
And then Florida, the Bahamas. Is that what you said?
No, the Canary Islands. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a different. So it had to have been the time of year that some of them went overseas, like toward Europe, and then a different time of year to go to
Right.
Florida.
But they did that for 6 years as a family, and the letters just keep coming in.
That is so cool to hear from different people all around the world that you would never have had a conversation with if you hadn't done this.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Tammy, she decided, I'm not going to cut my hair anymore. So on February 9th, she's decided the back of her hair is going to let keep growing. Since February 9th. February 9th. And so now it's party in the back and business in the front for Tammy. She's been doing this since February 9th. She's now in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest mullet for a lady, right?
Yeah.
For a lady. February 9th, she stopped cutting her hair. 1990.
She had grown it out before 1990. And in 1989, she got it cut and then she regretted it. So in 1990, she was like, never cutting it again. It is so long. When she rides motorcycles, she braids it before she gets in the motorcycle. And I think she kind of tucks it up into the helmet. Because if not, that thing could get caught up in the wheels.
Yeah,
It could
right.
be really, really dangerous.
5 feet 8 inches of hair in the
That's
back.
Taller than I am by a good bit.
She's had this hairstyle for so long that when people find her on Facebook that used to know her in school in the 80s, they know it's her just because of the hair.
Yeah, just because of the hair. I think she colors it, today because she covers the gray just a little bit. But yeah, that's a lot of time to have the same hairstyle.